we can add L on both sides, so L can be positive. It's going to be OE plus L is equal to A. And then we're going to subtract OE, but we want L to be the subject. It's going to be owner's equity plus L minus owner's equity is equal to A minus owner's equity. Then here's going to be our accounting equation. Then when we come to our expanded accounting equation, there is one thing that we expand here, and this is our owner's equity. There are 4 things we get under our owner's equity. We get capital, we get income, we get expenses, and we get drawings. Then in all these 4 things, 2 of them increase the wealth of the owner and 2 decrease. Capital and income increase the owner's equity, and then expenses and drawings decrease owner's equity. So what you can say, it's going to say A is equal to I plus C minus D minus E plus L. But this can also be written as A plus E plus D is equal to I plus C plus L, and both sides will be equal. That's why,
to further explain on what do we say here, this means that our accounting equation can also be written as assets is equal to, since owner's equity we have income, capital, expenses, and drawings, you can say it's drawings, no, it's income plus capital minus drawings minus expenses. All this plus the liabilities gives us the assets.
Okay, now how do we go back, please? Now, how do you end up having E on the other side? Now, I see that you have got minus E on that side, and you've got also minus D. So, can you please simplify that for us? Why do you have E on your left-hand side and you have D on the left-hand side? Okay. You can work on a new page, and you have your assets is equal to income and all that. So why do you have that on your left-hand side?
assets is equal to You can also simplify the parentheses by saying A is equal to I plus C minus E minus D plus L. What you can do here, so D and E can go to other side. You can introduce additive inverses by pressing E.
Introducing what?
Additive inverses.
What is that? Is it a mathematical terminology?
Yes.
Okay, can you please explain that? What you said it's edical?
Additive
inverses. Okay, what is that?
Additive inverses are numbers, when you add them together, you get 0. For example, -4 and +4. When you add -4 and +4, you're gonna get 0. Those are additive inverses.
Okay.
So the additive inverses are used to find the additive identity, which is 0, so that the value of whatever you have won't change, because 0 doesn't add or subtract anything.
Okay.
And now, for the sake of keeping our equation balanced, we have to add on both sides. So we're also gonna add on the left hand side.
Okay, so what you do on the left hand side you must also do on the right hand side. So that is additive inverse. Okay.
And then we're gonna, this 4 will subtract, it will cancel each other because they are additive inverses. Then we're gonna have E plus
Start with assets.
A plus E plus D is equal to I plus C plus N.
Okay. So please remind us what these letters stand for.
A stands for our assets, E stands for our expenses, D stands for our drawings, I stands for our income, C is for capital, and L is for our liabilities.
Okay, I understand. Oh yes, you have something to say.
Yes. So we now have the expanded accounting equation, which says assets plus expenses plus drawings are equal to income plus capital plus liabilities. This is how we find the spreadsheet, because on the spreadsheet we have our assets and our expenses, our drawings, and these two lines which indicate that this side and this side are equal.
Okay.
So here we also find our liabilities, our capital, and our income. This is how it's written on the spreadsheet. It's because of how the accounting, the expanded accounting equation is written.
Okay. Now I wanted you to explain these terms. One may not know what are the assets. One may not know what are the expenses, what are the drawings, income. So I would like you to explain those terms from assets, expenses, drawings, and the other maybe may explain the income, capital, and liabilities. Okay?
Our assets. Our assets are the possessions of the business, but our assets are divided into two. We have our current assets and our non-current assets. Under our current assets are assets that can be easily converted into cash. Examples could be money at the bank and trading stock. But trading stock is provided if it's a retail business, because the service business will not have trading stock. Under our non-current assets. Non-current assets are the assets that can last over a year in the business. For example, that could be our equipment, our vehicles, and our fixed deposits. Then we have our
What about the buildings, land and buildings?
land and buildings.
Is it a non-current asset or a current asset? Yes.
If the land and building lasts over a year, that means it's a non-current asset. So it falls under non-current asset.
So it's a non-current asset, okay?
Yes. And sometimes people debate that equipment and vehicles, you can sell them easily. But the problem is, if the equipment is needed for the business, so there's no reason that the business would sell the equipment because they need it. And then we have our expenses. Our expenses are the daily running cost of the business. Example could be, for example, let's say you are selling TVs. We cannot give our customer our TV by hand. We have to give them in a sort of packaging. So to put it in packaging, you'll need to buy us packing material.
So what will be TV in this case? What will be a TV? It's an expense.
TV is going to be our trading stock.
Okay.
Because the business is selling TVs.
Okay.
And then packing material is going to be our expense. So those are examples, because expenses are the daily running cost.
We've got so many expenses. You can maybe give us more examples of the expenses. Come on, not just packing material. We said these are the daily running costs of the business. Okay.
For example, it can also be our stationery.
Okay.
Maybe since the business has vehicles, maybe the petrol or whatever is used to fuel the vehicles can also be an expense.
Okay.
Also, it can be printing for the paperwork that has to be done.
Okay.
But there are various examples.
What about wages?
Wages
are also an expense.
Okay.
Wages and salaries, because you cannot have workers but not pay them. But paying them will not help the business in any way. So it's the daily running cost of having a business.
Okay.
And then we have our drawings.
Okay.
The drawings can be either money or it can be objects. It's what is taken out of the business by the owner. An example of this can be, for example, if the business is selling t-shirts, and then the owner of the business decides that his and his family for Christmas they'll need to have t-shirts so they can have a wonderful Christmas. And then the owner will take t-shirts, for example, maybe 5 t-shirts from the business and give it to his family members. That is an example of a drawing made by